Welcome to Cichy Stadium and tonight's broadcast of girls soccer on Shanley TV. My name is Thomas Gallagher. I'm here alongside Colton Schanzenbach. Tonight's matchup is between the Shanley Deacons and the Fargo North Spartans. Girls soccer on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight, and we will return shortly after this message.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Busick Olson and Associates, Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Fusion Electric, Hodels Haven Productions, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, OnSharp, Sandine Law, Sanford Health, and Shields.
And now let's introduce your starting 11 for your Shanley Deacons. At defense, number 2, Maddie Allers. At forward, number 4, Elsa Warbach. At center mid, number 5, Anna Bruce. At defense, number 10, Paige Rustad. At center mid, number 15, Ella Rogel. At right mid, number 17, Katie Schanzenbach. In the midfield, number 18, Aubrey Dew. At forward, number 20, Mia Metzger. At forward, number 24, Hannah Hodel. At center field, number 26, Emily Schrema. And between the posts, your keeper, nothing behind her, Paige McAllister. Your Deacons are head coached by Ryan Christensen. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your starting 11 for your Shanley Deacons.
All right, as we get ready to begin this matchup, I'll let you know the standings for these two teams, or their records. Fargo North is in second with a record of 3-1-3, just above Shanley, who's in third with a record of 4-3-1. Now, Thomas, we saw Shanley and Red River play last week, right?
Yes, we did.
Now, what do you think that Shanley has done to change their strategy from that game to here?
You know, at the end of that game, we kind of said, watch the defensive line was one of the things. Red River was playing a lot of deep through balls, and so that's an important thing to watch. If North comes out with that same strategy, which is very possible they might, that's just very important to watch your defense.
I agree. And we get ready for the kickoff. Shanley will have it first. And now, Thomas, the wind is going to be a big factor this game. It is blowing pretty hard out there. You can see all the jerseys and trees rippling and all that. I believe it is currently blowing towards the north side.
Yeah, so that's what you watch the coin toss. You obviously want to win the coin toss, so you have the win first half. I would assume that Shanley lost the toss because it looks like they're going into the wind the first half. So that's definitely important. You want the wind first half to try to get a lead. So we'll see how Shanley responds here.
And we have a north throw in here. taken quickly and passed in short, battling for the ball, and it will go off of the North player. And now one thing that we have seen quite a few teams like to do is those quick throw-ins. Do you think that those are an effective strategy, or do you think that they should wait a little bit as we have a nice cross put in there by, I believe that was Ella Frisk?
You know, I think it's almost beneficial to take your time here. We saw in the Red River game that there was a lot of battling on the sidelines, and they were just unable to keep the ball in. And so I think it's more beneficial to take your time and really find who you want to go to.
I would definitely agree with that, as we have a Shanley corner kick. And that was a really good heads-up play there by Hannah Hodel to realize that she wasn't going to get there in time and just to bounce it off the goalie's legs.
Yeah, great quick opportunity here for Shanley.
Kick is in, and it is quickly headed out by a North defender. So it will be another Shanley free kick.
That one placed just a little bit too close to the net there. We've got a low skipper on this one.
That one put out, fielded by Katie Schanzenbach, put back into play. But it will be taken by number 17. I believe that's Diva Najong.
And that will be a throw in for North here.
A deep throw in there, and it will be taken away by the Deacons. Aubrey Dew will come across with it. She passes it out to Metzger on the left side, who will race to keep it in.
Good control there on the sideline by Mia Metzger there.
Dew will take it up, try to make a pass, and it will be another Shanley free kick. Or not free kick, corner kick.
Yeah, good play there by Dew, trying to find something inside and just played it right off of the North player.
And that's another thing that the wind might affect is communications, as the wind causes quite a bit of noise and blocks out a bunch of others. As this corner is bouncing around and will be put through the goal posts by number 15. That is Ella Radel.
So a couple of corners here for Shanley early on, and unable to really get a good opportunity off of those.
That goal kick went just a bit too far and will be a Shanley throw right around the 45-yard line. Thrown into Ella Frisk, but will be taken away by a Spartan player. And she will be counted as onside, but McAllister will scoop that one up.
And just a miscommunication there from the Shanley defense. Ball comes through and nobody got a foot on it, and just a breakaway chance there. Just the touch a little bit too far for North.
I will say, though, that was a good ball put into Soleil Berg, just straight through the defenders, and she was kept onside. As Berg will get it again, try to dribble, but will be taken away by Frisk.
And Frisk had a great game in the game against Red River. Great facilitator
Solberg
through the middle.
Going into the box. And a nice
What
stop
a
there
save.
by Paige McAllister.
On her knees there for that one. That one was maybe 6 inches from her when it was kicked.
And, you know, I haven't played goalie except for in rec league where it doesn't really matter. But those close ones are the hardest ones to do because, you know, if you mess up, there's nothing there behind you to help.
And that anxiety definitely plays a factor when you're looking at it.
As that kick will bounce over 2 players, will be fielded by Radel, who will turn up with it and try to get it down the line. But will be booted and fielded by McAllister, who will give it a kick. And it will go off of a Deacon defender and will go out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
That one was off of Allers there.
And, like we were saying, that this communication between the defense just isn't there right now.
And it looks like North is taking a similar approach that Red River did in playing the through balls. Maybe not quite as far as Red River did, but definitely we saw one on the breakaway there earlier and one again there recently.
Ball pass to Jenna Carr in the middle will be taken away by Aubrey Dew. Dew will try to get it out.
Good play there by
Dew. Get
Dew.
it past the Spartan defender, but unfortunately there's no one there.
Metzger just lost control of that one there as it goes out of bounds.
And those in the air ones are kind of hard to keep in bounds, especially if you're trying to play it in the air.
Yeah.
That was a nice little chip pass to Dew, who will pass it up to Wambach. Almost makes something happen.
Wambach also with a great game the other week against Red River, creating a lot of opportunities for her team.
Frisk will go up the sideline with it, looking for a pass. Tries to find Wambach, but it will be poked away by a Spartan defender. So it will be Shanley throw, and they will just move a couple yards down the line. And the refs are signaling that it is a North throw. That throw put into Carr, who will pass it up. And another through ball, but just a little bit too hard. And, that's one thing that the players here will have to deal with is due to the rain, the turf is going to be a lot more saturated than it normally is. It's probably still wet. So the ball is going to slip and slide a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, North's just going to have to get used to that. It looks like the through ball is creating an opportunity, so if that's the style they want to play, they're just going to have to rein that in a little bit.
And so far it is looking like if they can rein that in, then they will be able to have some decent opportunities. The Deacon throw on the right sideline, put out to Schramer, who will pass it over to Dew. And Dew will try to wrangle it in, puts in a chip, and Jocelyn Sveet will just let that one go by her. So it will be a Spartan goal kick. Goal kick will be taken by a defender. Goes over to Deacons.
And a good play there by Allers just to get in the way of the attacker there, even though she lost the ball. And here comes Wambach with the ball. Just a little bit wide there.
And, those types of shots, those high arcing shots are decent shots because even if they're missed or like they go off of the goalpost or off the goalie, they can still be fielded by another one of your teammates.
Yeah, and the wind is definitely affecting those today, so we'll have to see how they play those.
North again looking for a through ball, but it is put out of harm's way by number 10, Paige Rustad, as Hannah Hodel will fight for it. Frisk will pass to Wambach, who gets faked out by a defender. Stolen by Metzger, and it will be put way into the Deacon defensive line.
And the wind is really picking up here at Cichy Stadium, and it looks like North is trying to take advantage of that.
And as we were saying earlier, that the wind really comes into play as a strategic move when you consider the coin toss, because you could either have it first half and try to rack up a lead, or you can have it second half and make sure you limit them to only so many goals. That throw-in will go a little bit too far, and it will be a Spartan throw-in. However, that ball is still on the field.
The wind is just barely moving it across. We'll see if it goes off here.
I believe it just crossed the line. A good throw into the wind there by the Spartans, and just kicked out of bounds by Rustad.
Substitution for your Deacons, number 16, Nora Rooney.
And Nora Rooney coming in here for the Deacons, subbing out Emily Schrema.
And it looks like Dew will move out to the wing and Metzger will move into the midfield. And, you know, Nora Rooney is one of those freshmen who have been put onto varsity and have been playing very well these last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely when you look at the Shanley roster, you see some young girls out here. So that definitely gives them hope for the future.
Yeah, and the fun part about it is Shanley actually puts them in. They don't just play the seniors all the time. So in a couple of years, this team will be pretty dang good, as that ball will just roll all the way out and will be a corner kick for Shanley. And it looks like Aubrey Dew will take it. I think Aubrey Dew is one of the main corner kick takers here, especially if it's a left-footed corner.
Yeah, and we'll have to watch this one. It looks like the wind is almost blowing sideways now.
It's put up and doesn't cross the line. So that will be a Spartan goal kick. Will be once again taken by a Spartan defender.
Good kick there.
And a good settle there by Roney. And that one will go off of the Spartans and will be a Shanley throw-in.
And we see Shanley really taking their time here, like we said earlier, on these throw-ins, not rushing them too much, but definitely picking out their targets and finding them.
As that was a good look from Soleil Berg, trying to find her teammate up in the forward, but taken away by the Deacons. As Schansbach has it around the 40, will pass into the middle to Metzger, who will dribble a little bit, then drop it off to, I believe that is Radel. And will be kicked out of bounds by the Spartans. Spartans are trying to clear it. Deacons will pass it out to Schanzenbach, who will pass it over to Wambach, trying for a deep cross to do, but is unable to get it there.
Good find there, just an errant touch there by Dew.
As we have some subs coming in here for both teams. For the Spartans, I believe it's number 2, Jamie Waller. And for the Spartans is number 6, Riley Bartz.
Good switch there by Schanzenbach.
And, you know, I think Shanley is really doing what we said they ought to do last week against the Rough Riders, and really trying to find those switches across the field, trying to find that open space, make the defense move more than they are. Because if you can tire out the defense, it gets a heck of a lot easier to play offense.
And the North defense just loses control of that one. The wind might have helped Shanley out on that one.
Emily Welch and number 2, Jamie Wallace.
We'll play this back to Schanzenbach.
And a nice cross there, trying to find Astrup, but just a little bit too far forward. So it will be a North throw-in right around the 6-yard line. That one just goes through and will be fielded by Frisk. And will be put straight out of bounds by a Spartan defender.
And substitution onto the pit. Let's welcome number 8 for the Deacons, Kramer.
Krista Kramer in for the Deacons here.
She played a really good game against the Rough Riders last week. We'll see if she has any impact today.
Good touch by Schanzenbach there.
By the 25. We'll pass it to Metzger, who takes a
Great
shot. And a
move.
nice
What
shot.
a shot.
That touched the top of the bar and just went straight down. I don't think the Spartan goalkeeper realized it was going to go in.
That whole play from top to bottom there by Metzger. Just a great touch, breezed by the defender, put that one top corner.
And, you know, that really shows Metzger's capabilities as a playmaker. As she received that ball basically on her own, she stole it from going, well, she saved it from going towards the Spartan defenders and dribbled away and just put an absolute beauty into the top of the net.
Especially in the midfield. You know, the midfield can be a crowded space, but she created her own space there.
And that will put the Deacons up 1-0 with 23 minutes left in the first half. And, you know, that's a huge boost in momentum.
Especially when you don't have the wind on your side. If you can really build up the momentum in the first half and then swing it into the second half with the wind, that is a deadly combo.
As that one will be headed out by the North attacker. I believe that was Soleil Berg.
Frisk just loses that one through the middle.
Astrup will end up with it. Tries to find Kramer, but it will be taken away by the Spartan defenders. And I would like to apologize for not being able to name more names of the Spartan players. It is a little bit difficult to see the numbers from up here. As we have coming onto the field, number 17, Diva Nojeng. And for the Deacons, number 6, Hannah Webker.
Number 6, Hannah Wambach. And number 26, Emily Shreva.
Frisk will dribble it up, trying to find a teammate, has a lot of time.
Good move there. Moving with speed.
Will find Hannah Wambach, who will save it from going out.
Great save there. Creates a corner opportunity for her team.
And, you know, those are the type of players that coaches look for to put up top, the ones who aren't afraid to chase after a ball, even though it looks like a lost cause.
And this corner is going to be into the wind. That one just a bullet right through the box.
Will be tipped up by a Spartan defender and will go over Roni's head. But is called a North throw-in. That throw-in will bounce off of a Spartan player and will be a Shanley throw-in right around the 23.
Once again, taking their time on those throw-ins and just finding their players. With this win, I could almost think they could throw it backwards and still be okay.
Radel will have it at around the 20. Will be taken away by a Spartan defender. And it will be put out of bounds to be a Shanley throw-in. Schramer will have it at midfield. Passes it over to Schansbach at the 20. She'll take a touch back to Schramer,
Good move there by Shrema.
who passes it out to Hannah Wambach. She'll try to put it in, but a nice block there by number 7. That is No Zhang. Nice little scissor step there by the Spartan attacker. Schramer will pass back to Schansbach.
And Shrema has almost been a ball hog here on this left side.
I wouldn't exactly say ball hog. I'd say more ball magnet. It just always seems to come right back to her. We have a substitution here for both teams. It looks like it will be Elsa Wambach coming in for the Deacons.
And welcome back onto the pitch for your Spartans number 20, Jenna Carr.
And for your Spartans, number 20, Jenna Carr.
That one is a deep kick, helped by the wind there.
Wambach trying to find somebody, but it will be taken away by the Spartans, who will begin a bit of a passing triangle there to try to get it up, but it will be taken away. Radel will try to find Wambach, but will find her.
Eventually found her.
Schansbach has it around the 20 to Wambach, back to Schansbach, but just a little bit too far, and will be a throw-in for the North Spartans. And, you know, those are the type of plays that you really look for when you're attacking, especially on the outside. It's just those 1-2 quick passes into space.
Yeah, if you can find that quick pass right around the defender, you can create some crazy chances.
Looks like it'll be a Shanley throw-in here, taken by Schanzenbach. We'll throw it to Shrema, sorry. And there will be a foul on Astrup.
So the wind should really help this free kick here as we see the ball moving on its own.
You know, on windy days like these, it's pretty dang hard to get the ball right where you want it on a free kick. But that one will make it past the defense to Allers, who will put it out to Schanzenbach, who will have a little bit of time but won't be able to get there. So it will be a Spartan throw-in at around the 20-yard line, and will be taken by number 16, that's Trogstad. Allers will do a nice little juggle there. And we'll find Wambach, who will try to boot it up and will be put at it by Trogstad. So it will be a Shanley throw-in at around the 37. That ball will make its way to Astrup, who's trying to find someone. Finds Wambach, who will let it go in favor of Kramer. And Kramer will play a beautiful ball to Wambach. And an excellent job by the Spartan defender. I believe that is number 11, Earthwild. Just a beautiful job to get back and win that race to the ball and poke it out.
Yeah, and Wambach just got cut off there. Looked like she might have an opportunity to break away, but good reaction by the defense.
And it looks like in for the Deacons will be number 20, Mia Metzger. That ball put in, and we'll go through people, but we'll find Astrup. It'll end up deflected, but then will be put out by the defender. Still shuffling around, and it will end out at the 50. Put back in by Allers. And Schramer will get it at the 35. Will find Kramer wide open in space, but just puts a little bit too much on that ball. And it will be a North throw-in. We have 15 minutes remaining here. And Thomas, do you think that these teams are going to change their strategy within these last 10, 15 minutes?
You know, maybe not within these next 10, 15 minutes, but I think you definitely change it going into the second half. It's really hard to even tell which way the wind is blowing at this point, but all you know is that it's blowing hard. And so you definitely have to adapt and talk about, you know, what to do in these circumstances.
As Wambach puts some nice moves on the defender, will get it out to Do, who will have her shot blocked by the Spartan defense. And, you know, this Spartan defense is really putting on a show here, just shutting down attempt after attempt that Shanley's making.
This corner taken by Wambach here. A good ball there.
And those are the type of balls that you really want to see on those corner kicks. Those low, hard passes. Because anybody can get their knee or foot right in the way, and it can bounce off of anyone in the wrong way. It just creates chaos, and that's really what you want from the offense. As a nice opportunity here by number 12, that is Larson, to try to get through the defense. The ball will find its way out to Wambach, but will be fielded by Wild, who does a nice job controlling the situation. And, you know, that's a great sequence of events there for both teams. First by the Spartans to get the ball all the way down to their goal off of a corner kick. And then for the Deacons to get it almost all the way back.
Yeah, just a great opportunity there. Tried to find a pass inside, was just unable to get a foot on it, and then the turnaround opportunity there for Wambach just kind of got cut off by a defender.
Wild again stops Frisk and kicks it out of bounds. And, you know, Earth Wild is really doing a number here. She's really putting in the work. She's personally stopped, I think, about 3 or 4 Shanley attempts.
Yeah, definitely a strong middle defender there.
Some nice passing here by Shanley. Will be put in, but deflected by the outside defender. I believe that is number 7. That is No Zhang. So it will be a Shanley corner kick, again taken by Aubrey Dew. The wind's really picking up here.
And based on the flag, this one is heavily into the wind here.
I would almost think that she would try to put it closer to the ground.
She floats this one up in the air.
And a nice opportunity there by Wambach.
Wow. Wambach just got a good tap on that one. But the goalie was right there.
Excellent stop there by Jocelyn Sveit. Metzger has it at the 40. Will pass it over Schansbach, but it will be intercepted by 13. That is Solberg. And that will be a handball called on the Spartans at around the 43, 42-ish. Taken by Frisk.
That one maybe just misstruck there by Frisk.
Allers plays it to Schanzenbach, who plays it up to Wambach. Deacons trying to find something. Spartans trying to stop them.
And that one just taken by the wind there as she tried to find Dew.
And, you know, I really do think that the wind is having an effect on both teams' communication. It looks like there's been quite a few or instances where they've just either put too much on the ball or not enough.
Yeah, and the wind almost seems to be changing directions here, so Shanley may end up playing against the wind in both halves.
Allers trying to get that ball out against, I believe that's number 5, Soleberg. And although we do have this heavy wind, it does look like there is clear skies, so we will not, or it looks like we will not be getting any rain here soon, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it looks like most of the clouds that were over us have pushed over, so should be decent weather here.
This throw will make it into the box, but will be put out by Allers. And we'll go out of bounds for another north throw-in. And a nice save there by the assistant coach. And it looks like we're getting stuck in a loop of just throwing it in and kicking it out.
Yeah, this is where I say, take your time here, as she did there, and just pick your target, find who you want to pass it to, and then try to hit them as best you can.
Wild passes it up to the middle, will make its way to the outside, but intercepted by Schansbach, who will just put a boot on it and get it all the way to the goalie. And that's a good play there by Schansbach to get the ball all the way down the field, reset the momentum, and get the ball out of their half.
A good stop there in the back line for Allers. She's going to have to watch the striker for North here.
That pass will be intercepted by the defense, as will battle with, I believe that is number 16, Trogstad. As we have a sub coming in for the Deacons.
Substitution for your Deacons, number 24, Hannah Hodel.
That is Hannah Hodel coming in.
And on to sit for your Deacons, number 11, Emma Rourke.
Also coming on, number 11, Emma Rorick. So will take this throw-in. She'll try to find Frisk, but just a little bit too close to the end line there.
Yeah, and that one was just a little too narrow for Frisk there.
Berg trying to make a move, but a nice stop there by Rustad. Trogstad will take the throw, puts it into Berg, who will pop it up and then give it a little bit of a header out into the corner, where it looks like it's a 3-on-1 Spartans against Aubrey Dew there.
Good hands there by McAllister.
And that was a good shot placement, too, by the Spartan attacker, as it looked like it was just going to go into the top corner. Metzger will head the ball forward and take it with her, and will find Rorick out on the left side, who will have a little bit of time. Tries to get it back to Metzger, but it will be taken away by Trogstad. And that ball will go underneath the grandstand, so the ball boy will take a little crawl there. And with about 5.5 minutes here, do you think that the Deacons are going to push as hard as they can to try to get a goal, or just settle in, wait for halftime, and restart?
Yeah, I definitely think a goal, wouldn't hurt. You get a 2-goal lead going into the second half with this wind. It's going to be hard to come back from that. But, certainly you just don't want a goal against. You don't want this to be a tie game and have to put up another one.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree that the smart thing to do would probably be just sit back and ensure that you have a 1-0 lead going into the second half. But knowing how competitive the Shanley girls are, I think they will probably try for another goal. As there's a bit of passing around here in the middle, Frisk will make a move and then have it stolen by Fargo, who will put it right out of bounds.
And good clear there by Fargo.
Frisk tries to put something on net, just a little bit too far to the left. And it will be Wild taking the goal kick here. Just a little bit of a miscommunication creates a chance for the Spartans, as that is Berg racing up the sideline alongside number 13, that is Solberg. And that looked like it was a bit of a shove from the Shanley player.
Good play by Du there to just take the ball straight away.
And that was Carr trying to find Fargo. Just put a little bit too much juice on that ball. And it will be a Shanley throw in deep in their own half. Du will throw it into Metzger, who will dribble across the field. And it will go out for a Spartan throw.
Just a miscommunication there for Shanley.
Just under 3 minutes here. It looks like the Spartans are really pushing, really trying to get that equalizer goal to go into the halftime huddle. And that would be a huge shift in momentum here if they do manage to get it, especially with the wind being as unpredictable as it has been. It will be a Shanley throw at about the 10-yard line. And it looks like the Deacons will be sitting back a little bit more, trying to just wait out the half.
Yeah, with only 2 minutes here, that's a fine strategy. You just certainly don't want a goal here in the last bit of time.
This throw will be fielded by Metzger, who does a nice little juggle to get it over the defenders, but will be taken away by the Spartans. And a nice little bit of passing here. Good options by the Spartans to just keep passing it until one of them can get it to the other players.
And that one just lost out of bounds by the north wing there. That is costly mistake here in the last minute of play.
That throw-in will go to Hodel, who will play it up to Wambach, and it is a race, and she will take down the defender, and a foul will be called. So it will be a North free kick at around the 22.
Just a little too aggressive there, but, honestly, no harm, no foul for Shanley, as this free kick is pretty deep for North.
Kick will be put in and fielded by Shrema. Hauge will try to make a pass to her forwards, but it will be taken away by Rustad. And that is Bartz with the ball, trying to find a teammate along the sideline, and almost finds it too. And we have about 15 seconds here. before we head to the half.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
And with that one being booted all the way down, we will just go to the half.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your first half score, your Fargo Spartans 0, and your Shanley Deacons 1.
So a good half there, 1-0 for Shanley. What do you think these teams should talk about here going into the second half?
Well, I definitely think that both teams will probably say something along the lines of, don't be afraid to put the ball on the ground, keep it low, keep it out of the wind, and just make slow, steady progress. You don't need to play those big overhead balls, because if the wind suddenly makes a big gust, you're going to be put out, and then the other team will have a chance to counterattack.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think keep the ball on the ground here. And if you can get a shot within the box, definitely aim for that.
Other than that, I think it is just mostly going to be about the passes and probably communication for the Deacons, as we saw a couple of errors within their defense.
I agree. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. Thank you all for watching, and we will return shortly at the start of the second half.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Busick Olson and Associates, Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Fusion Electric, Hodels Haven Productions, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, OnSharp, Sandine Law, Sanford Health, and Shields.
If you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcasts, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on your donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you're interested in donating, please contact Joel Shui at 701-893-3225. That's 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV.
All right, as we get ready to start the second half, it will be the Spartans kickoff with a 1-0 lead for the Deacons. And like we said, these two teams are battling for second in the EDC. And I believe that a win here would put Shanley above North.
Yeah, it's definitely a close battle here, and definitely important for the standings in EDC.
Schanzenbach will pass it over to the middle, and it will get switched towards Radel.
Nice switch there by Shanley early on.
And a good look. But, man, Earth Wild is just really fast. Hodel will take a shot and will be blocked by Wild. So we will have a Shanley corner kick here. Will be taken by Aubrey Dew.
And this one appears to be with the wind here. This is kind of going at a diagonal.
She will put it in, and it will bounce through and will be let out to be a Spartan throw-in.
Just a little bit too wide on the kick there.
That throw-in put down onto the ground by Schanzenbach and played over by the Spartans, who now have a 2-on-1 against Rustad. A nice little shot attempt put on, but will be wide of the net. And I think, I'm trying to see who that was that had that shot. Looks like it was number 13, Solberg. Wambach will wrangle in that kick. And Wild will put it right back into the Deacon defensive half.
Yeah, trying to find Hannah Hodel there. But Wild just maintaining that back line defense.
Nice little pullback by Schanzenbach. And Frisk will take it to the 40, but will be taken away by the Spartans. And it looks like the Spartans are really doing what we expected them to change and just passing along the ground, not looking for the air passes, just trying to take the wind out of the equation.
Yeah, and it almost looks as if Shanley's taken a more long ball approach. At least that's what we've seen here early. And so we'll have to see how they play this. I did check the weather over halftime, and it said that the wind was only blowing 21 miles an hour. So I think it's lying to me.
You know, weather apps do tend to do that.
The wind is definitely howling here.
And a foul will be called on the Spartans. So it will be a Shanley free kick at the 41-yard line. It looks like it will be taken by Rustad, and I believe this will be, once again, into the wind. Or sorry, that is Allers taking that free kick. And that one will be placed over into the box and will be an easy grab for Svi. And, you know, it's like you guessed that Shanley will have been playing into the wind for both halves of this game.
Yeah, the wind more at a diagonal here, but still playing into Shanley's half.
Spartans passing around. Really some nice plays by Shanley. And a foul called on Allers. So it will be a Spartan free kick at around the 45. And, you know, in these opening 5 minutes or so, We've seen some really good passing here from the Spartan offense, really finding their teammates and just connecting very well.
Yeah, and like we said, that's necessary here. As even the ball just sitting on the ground there on that free kick, it was moving by itself. So, definitely important to shorten up the passes and make sure they're quick and easy.
So Shanley will have a goal kick here. And, I think if the Spartans keep up this passing and this communication, they will have multiple opportunities and might have a couple goals here in the second half. Roney will have it in the center, finds Dew on the outside, but it just gets by her. And it will be a Spartan throw-in. Deacons will move it up the line. And it looks like the Deacons are starting to pass pretty well on their own as well. And it looks like a nice attempt at a through ball up to Dew, but just, again, a little bit too far. And that kind of seems to be the common message we seem to be saying here, is that both teams are just putting a little bit too much on those passes.
Yeah, I think she might have been hoping that the wind would sit that one down a little bit, but that one kind of just rolled out.
And a miscommunication by the Spartans leads Hannah Hodel to be able to get a pass on that. And some nice moves by number 13, that is Solberg. Some nice moves to get past the Deacon defense. And that one will just barely go out of bounds and will be taken by number 4, Vanessa Geske. Little bit of confusion there in the middle, and we'll end up with Hodel at around the 50-yard line. She'll take a dribble, get past one defender and another, and then make a pass out to Wambach, but just put a little bit too much on it. And there will be a foul called just before the ball went out of bounds on Wambach for a little bit too much roughhousing there.
Yeah, I just gave her a little shove at the end there as the ball was going out of bounds. Good call by the ref.
And that ball will make it through the entire team, but will be played out of danger by McAllister. A nice throw there by the Spartans, but just a little bit of miscommunication on where the recipient would be. Within these first 10 minutes, as we have an offsides call for the first time in this game. Along with that, both teams have been doing a pretty dang good job of keeping both in contention and on sides.
Boot there into the wind for Shanley.
Frisk will fight for it and then kick it up. And it will be tipped forward by Nojang. Rustad will fall, but will be able to get back up and will find Hodel. And a nice pass there by Rustad to get it basically all the way up to the attacking players.
Hodel managed to stay with that one.
A beautiful pass to do, and she will almost come out with it, but again, Earth Wild breaks up the play. And that was a nice job there by Wild to get back on defense, even though the ball got by her.
Good clear by the north defense there.
Schanzenbach will put that one in, and it will be fielded by Metzger, who will find Radel. And that's a nice little back pass there, right into space, right where no one on the Spartans team was.
Yeah, Metzger has just had really good control of the ball here. And we saw it pay off with that goal in the first half.
And a nice little poke out there to Hannah Hodel, but will be taken away by the Spartans and will end up out of bounds off the Deacons. Nice little block there by Aubrey Dew. But will end up back with the Spartans. Berg makes a nice move on Schanzenbach, but is unable to find her teammate in 13 Solberg. And the wind just keeps going and going. Just when you think it's dying down, it comes right back with a vengeance.
Yeah, that flag on the far right corner here, it's really blowing.
And that will be called a corner kick for the Spartans. So a big opportunity here for the Spartans with just under 30 minutes left to get an equalizer goal and then have the rest of the half with momentum on their side.
Yeah, I definitely think if there was one to tie it up, this is right where you want it, and you have plenty of time to definitely try to get another one.
Ball is put in play. It is put low, gets by Dew, and almost put on, but just a swing and a miss there by the Spartan attacker. Ball still in play, though. And finally, just booted over the 50-yard line by Metzger.
And that might have to be the strategy here for some of these corner kicks that are heavily into the wind. Maybe just try to put one on the ground and skip it through the box. Hopefully somebody gets a foot on it.
And some nice passing here by the Spartans. They've really put on a show with their passing and connections so far in the second half. And that one will be scooped up by McAllister. Nice little touch there by Frisk to Hodel. Tries to find Dew, but will be taken. That ball will be intercepted by Haugo.
Good block there by Hodel to try to move it forward.
And it looks like on the right side for the Spartans, Haugo is a brick wall as we have one get by the defense, but scooped up by McAllister again.
Good confidence there from McAllister with an attacker running right at her. That can be intimidating sometimes.
And good trust by the Deacon defense to put their faith in McAllister. As we have some subs coming on for the Deacons, we have number 26, Emily Schrema. And we have number 11, that is Emma Rorick. Now, Emma Rorick is one of those young stars that we were talking about who has made their varsity debut in 8th grade, which is fairly impressive considering they've only had 1 year to play, as that ball is called out of bounds by the side ref.
Yeah, you definitely don't see 8th graders make it to varsity very often. You know, you definitely have to stand out for that to happen.
As we have a stoppage of play here, I believe that might be a bloody nose for number 20 Jennikar on the Spartans. And because there's blood, she will have to go over to the trainer.
And substitution. for Spartans,
So coming in will be Anna Haugo. So we will have a Spartan throw-in at around the 50-yard line with just over 25 minutes left. Nice little block there by Dew to reset the field. But a quick throw-in by the Spartans. It looks to have worked for them as they will try to switch the field here. They will pass it to number 17. And it will end up out by the 50. Nice little pass there by Dew to Hodel, who will take a couple touches and give it back. And Dew will try to make a pass, and she will find Wambach at the top of the box, who takes a touch, takes another, passes it out to Rorik,
Good
who
move
has
there by
space,
Wambach.
and will put it in. And that was an excellent ball there by the 8th grader. Just right where you want it to be, right at the level where you could kick it, you could knee it, you could settle it down.
Yeah, and that was right off the great move and find by Wambach there. Almost looked like she had an opportunity to shoot it, but gave it up in favor of the pass, and it almost paid off too.
And I definitely think that was the right move there to try to get the big cross to work, as a nice through ball is played to Nojang, but it will end up going out for a Deacons goal kick. And we have some subs coming on for the Deacons.
Onto the pitch for your Deacons. Number 5, Ella Frest, and number 9, Lindsay Astrup.
Coming on for the Deacons are Lindsay Astrup and Ella Frisk. Frisk will make a move but get tripped up and will be stolen by Nojang.
Good stop there by Metzger to take the ball right back.
And a foul called on Nojang. Just getting a little bit too aggressive there, a little too excited.
Good job by Metzger there to use her body to block the ball and draw that penalty from Nojang.
Restad will take the kick. And a nice fake there by Hodel to give Astrup the ball. Unfortunately, will be taken away by the Spartan defenders. You know, that's the kind of selflessness that you look for in a teammate, along with the type of heads-up play that a lot of coaches love. As Schraman will battle with a Spartan attacker. Spartans will try another over the defense pass, but it will be scooped up once again by McAllister.
Good gather there by Metzger.
And a nice find to Lindsay Astrup, who has space. Wild will pick her up at around the 10-yard line. She will pass it back to Schanzenbach, who goes for a nice cross, just a little bit too high.
And the wind just not in her favor there as it's playing right into that pass.
And a good stop there by Radel. Oh, and that ball will be dropped off of the deflection by Geske. I think that deflection put a little bit too much spin on it, and the goalie just wasn't expecting it. Just came off of her hands and Hannah Hodel almost took advantage. And it looks like the Deacons are building a head of steam here, as Frisk will be taken down, but no foul. She will find Radel on the opposite side of the field.
Nice move by Radel there.
And a good block by the Spartan defense. But Emma Rorick will be called offsides. I am not sure about that one there, Thomas. I do believe the rule is if it is intended for the player that they are offsides. I could be wrong, but I think the refs called it as if the player gets it, because I believe that was a blocked shot, not a pass.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It's kind of a sharp angle here from our box, but definitely seemed that way.
That kick will bounce off of Frisk and will go out of bounds. We have some subs coming onto the field here.
Substitution for your Spartans. Number 20, Jenna Carr.
Carr will come back on for the Spartans.
For your Deacons. Number 6, Hannah Wambach, and number 18, Aubrey Duke.
Coming back on for your Deacons are Hannah Wambach and Aubrey Dew. And that throw will be kicked back, and it is still in bounds. The wind will blow it and keep it in, as Geske was just waiting for it to go out, but it never crossed the line.
And a great touch there on the outside to keep that ball in. That was by number 13, Maya Solberg.
And just an unfortunate touch there by the Spartans to give the Deacons a throw-in. And that ball will get past the defender, and Lindsay Astrup will try to get something out of it, but it'll end up just going through for a Shanley corner kick. Coming in for your Deacons is number 16, Nora Roney. And that ball will be a goal. A nice play there by Radel. Just came in steaming forward and just bounced it right off of her knee and put it right into the ground, right past the keeper. And that's a nice goal there by Radel. A freshman scoring a goal on varsity, that's something you don't usually see. But with this Deacon team being so young, I wouldn't count it against them.
You know, that is huge for Shanley here. Up 2 goals now with the wind howling and under 20 minutes to play. That is a huge advantage here.
And so the Spartans will have it at the 50. And, you know, that just shows how unpredictable those corner kicks are. And that's why we keep saying that anything can happen on a corner kick. And it's just both a good opportunity for the attacking team and a terrible situation for the defending team. And Dew will try to make a through ball to Astrup, but it will just put a little bit too much heat on that one.
On to the pitch for your Spartans, number 16, Samantha Thompson.
Bance will try to make a through ball up to Solberg, but just puts a little bit too much heat on it and will be kicked out of bounds by Maddie Allers.
Your second Deacon goal coming at the 61-30 mark, assisted by number
And a
18,
high kick
Aubrey
will be
Duke.
called
And
on
your
the Spartans there.
number 16, Nora Roney.
And, that high kick rule has been one of my favorite rules. It just makes the game a little bit more safe and makes sense. That one will be kicked out by Aller, so it will be a Spartan throw-in. That one put into space and will be fielded by Rustad and will be deflected off of, I believe that is number 14, or sorry, 16, Emma Trogstad.
We got some subs coming in here for the Deacons. Elsa Wambach coming back in the game. As well as number 8, Krista Kramer.
That throw will be immediately kicked back out. And with 15 minutes left, Thomas, do you think that the Deacons are going to try to waste time and just secure the victory, or do you think that they're going to try to rack up the league just so that they can prove a point or have fun?
I definitely think they sit on this lead. 2 goals, and, like we've talked about the entire game, the wind blowing this hard, it's going to be hard to just get 2 goals to tie it for North. And 3 goals is even harder, so I think they just sit on this as much as they can for the last 15 minutes.
As we had a nice little passing play there between Astrup and Wambach. But again, Earthwild disrupting the play. And that one will be kicked out by a Spartan defender for another corner kick. Coming back into the game is Shrema. And so Wambach will take this kick. And it will be blocked by Wild, who will make sure that it does not go out for another corner kick there.
And that one may be just a missed kick there by Wambach. Kind of put it down the line.
And one thing that we are not used to with these varsity games is the weather, or sorry, the time. Usually at this point in the game, it's going to get pretty dark, as the games typically start at 7, but this one started at 5, so we are still in daylight for the varsity game, which is something you don't see very often.
Yeah,
as
maybe
we have a breakaway by a Spartan player who has no teammates to pass to. And just gets
a little
swarmed
bit
by the defense.
Worries about the weather here, so they move the game ahead. But it looks like pretty clear skies here now.
And, I would definitely say as a player, especially with the schoolwork that you have, playing an earlier game is much nicer than playing a later game because you just have more time to go home and do homework, or you have the rest of the night off.
Yeah, I definitely think when the game's at 7 and it ends at 9, that's a tight window. So I'm sure these girls are pretty happy that it got moved to 5.
As Frisk will put on the Jets and burn past 2 defenders, make that 3, but will be stopped by Wild. And just some more miscommunications. Schramer will take a stab at it. And a nice through ball there. She will be on sides. But once again, it looks like her teammates are not following as fast as she would like. Her only option is to take a shot, and it will be saved by McAllister. And, I definitely think that's one thing that North should be doing right now is whenever they get an opportunity, as many people as they can offer should be going up with them.
Yeah, we've seen them kind of come up the right side, and especially with that wind almost going sideways into them, they definitely need a little more support on that side.
And substitution onto the pitch for your Spartans, number 17, Anna Nelson. And onto the pitch for your Deacons, number 20, Mia Metzger, and number 24, Hannah Hodel.
So the Spartans will throw it back in here, and will get swarmed by the Deacon midfielders. Metzger will try to take it up, but will be kicked out of bounds, so it will be a Deacon throw. Fielded by Du, and a foul is called. And it looks like the ref will have a chat with the side ref, as it was the line ref who called the foul. I think the line ref was calling it out of bounds. Schanzenbach will battle that one to get a pass up to Wambach.
Good
Try to
effort by
keep it in.
Schanzenbach there to try to keep that one in.
Geske will take a throw in. We'll end up back to Schanzenbach, who will make a big boot up to it. And Hannah Hodel will try to get it.
And that's a good play there by Schanzenbach. Like we said, kind of playing defensive soccer here. That big boot up the sideline is very helpful for her team.
Kramer will pass it back to Schanzenbach, who will take a nice touch and get a pass to Hodel in the center, who will pass it back to Schrema. We're seeing some good ball movement from the Deacon offense in this second half. Much better than the first half. I definitely think that Coach Christensen said something to get their minds going in the huddle.
Here goes Metzger again.
That was a nice touch by Metzger, but just unable to put anything else through it.
Good low ball by Schrema there. Now Wambach. Just unable to get anything through here for Shanley.
Ball put in play by Du. Metzger will take a second, slow it down. And the Deacons just passing it around. And this is definitely one of those we're up strategies where you just pass it around, and if you get a good opportunity, you take it, but otherwise you just keep passing.
Yeah, you're totally fine with passing this around, especially in the offensive zone. Defensive zone gets a little sketchy, but if you're in the offensive zone, you're totally fine with passing it back and forth. And a good takeaway here by North.
We'll try to make a pass, but it will be blocked by Rustad. And the line ref was trying to call offsides on Hodel, but advantage will be put into play. Which, for those of you at home who do not know, a foul such as offsides will be not called if the team who would benefit from the foul is in a position that is better than they would benefit. And that ball will be put up by Allers. And then put out to Astrup. And it looks like she just squib that kick a little bit, as we have 7 minutes left in the game. Now, Thomas, do you think that the Spartans are going to change their strategy and try to go for an all-out attack?
Yeah, I mean, you've only got so much time here. I think it's, as much as you can. All you've got left. You've got a 2-goal deficit to make up, so it's definitely do or die right now.
I would definitely agree, especially even if you don't make up 2 goals. If you make up 1, you can preserve your dignity a little bit better.
Yeah, and that even if you could put 1 in, that definitely increases your hope, increases your momentum, and then maybe even stick a second one in there.
And for the Deacons, I believe it would be smart to do the opposite. Just sit back, try to keep your lead, don't push too far forward. Don't let them have any opportunities. But at the same time,
yeah, and that was a good look there by Metzger. I think you're fine here if you're Shanley, playing these big balls through, try to get it into the offensive zone, and then sit back and control.
And so the Deacons will take a throw-in, and it will be fielded by Geske and put into the stands. And Geske is just showing off her skills, settling pretty much every single throw-in that she's had today. As the ball will make its way across the field before going out. Coming back in for the Deacons is number 16, Nora Roney. Spartans with an opportunity here. I believe that is Solberg taking it down the line, trying to find her teammate.
Good play
Finds her
in
at
there.
the top of the box, but will put it a little bit too high. And that's a very, very good opportunity for the Spartans. That is exactly what you want.
Yeah, just didn't get quite over that one enough on the kick.
And, that is one of the plays that you practice in the drills, driving in and then passing it back. As we have 4 minutes left in the game. And if the Spartans do manage to pull out either a tie or flat out win the game here in the last 4 minutes, they will secure their spot as number 2 in the EDC. But if the Deacons manage to hold the lead, I believe they will be moved up into the second spot. As Metzger will make a pass, but it will be blocked by Wild. Spartans looking for something. They'll get it past the defense, but just a little bit too hard on that pass. And, I definitely think, even if it's not for strategy, just for fun, that the Spartans you might see some of the Spartans who normally are in the defensive half start to push up a little bit, start to take chances, because there's just under 3 minutes left, as that ball will be put all the way back to the Spartan goalkeeper.
And good play there by Elsa Wambach to boot that one forward. Just, waste time, and then goalie, of course, picked that one up, so takes a little more time off the clock.
That one attempted to be kept in bounds by, I believe that's Solberg, but will be a Shanley throw-in. And Metzger will take her time with a pass to Wambach, who will have time and space along the left side.
Good cut in there by Wambach.
We'll
Plays
drop
it
it
right
off
off
to
to
Metzger. And will be booted out by the Spartan defense as we have 1 minute 50 seconds left. Wambach will put this one in the air.
And the wind just helping that one float. Takes a few
And
seconds off the clock.
This one, and that will be taken by the Spartans defender, but not the goalie, which is an interesting play because in my mind at least, I would want the goalie to be able to pick it up and get it all the way out of there instead of it just going a couple of yards and then coming right back.
Good control here for Shanley in the last few minutes. And they will play this one back to Metzger.
A-Strip will have it along the right side, but will be pushed out of the way by Getsky. Spartans still looking for at least one goal on the board, as that one is attempted to be put through by Solberg, but blocked by Allers. Now, nice little double nutmeg there by Frisk. A-Strip battling with Wild. And you know, I think throughout this game, even though they are down by 2 with 10 seconds left, I think Wild has played a fantastic game. She's kept the score from being 3 or 4 to 0.
2, 1. And there it is, ladies and
And with that, it will be Shanley Deacons 2 and your Fargo North Spartans 0. And, you know, I think that was a really competitive game. Those 2 goals scored by the Deacons were hard fought and weren't easy goals.
Yeah, I definitely think this was closer than the score, looks. I think if these two teams see each other again, it will be close. Maybe if they see each other in the regular season or maybe even EDC or state. So it'll be interesting to watch. Well, for myself and for Colton Schanzenbach, we'd like to thank you all for watching tonight. Don't forget that you can find us on social media. We are on Twitter and Facebook at Shanley TV. If you'd like to watch this or any of our other archived broadcasts, you can go to shanleytv.com. Thank you for watching and have a great night.